Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Find Your Future panel event on science and technology today. My name is Maya and I'm from the Careers Service. Before our panelists introduce themselves and begin the session, we would like to go over some basic housekeeping for this session. Sorry. So this event is being recorded and will be available on the Careers Service YouTube channel to watch again at a later date. So we understand that some of you may wish to turn your camera function off, although we do encourage as many of you as possible to keep your camera on throughout the session, especially during the Q&A with our panelists. You'll notice that you've been automatically muted during the session. So during the session, there'll be opportunity for you to ask our panelists any questions you may have. You can do this by typing your question within the chat box, or alternatively by clicking on the raise your hand function in the reactions tab. Once you have spoken, we ask that you click on the lower hand button so that our speakers can identify any further questions from other attendees and press your mute button again. So here is a brief running order. For today's session. So we've got FDM, GSK and Stemcell Technologies joining us. So I think it's going to be a really brilliant session today. And again, a massive thank you for joining us, and we hope that you enjoy the session. I'm now going to hand over to our first panelist who will introduce themselves. So our first panelist today is Christiana from FDM. So I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Morning, everyone. Just gonna put my slides because I prepared a small presentation for you guys. So this small introduction will be about FDM and what we're doing. So just to start off with a little introduction for myself. So my name is Christiana and I am a graduate recruiter, university partnership consultant at FDM Group. I'm based in our Leeds office. I joined FDM at the start of this year. Before that, I did my degrees. As you guys, I was also a graduate. I did social psychology, and now I'm here at FDM helping other graduates get their start their career at FDM Group. So just a little introduction of what FDM is doing. So we recruit, train and deploy business and technical consultants. We have three main programs. We have our ex-forces program, which bridges the gap between leaving the army and the working life. And we also have our returners to work, which is for people who took career gap and now are keen to go back to the work as well. And last but not least is our graduate program, which I assume you're mostly interested in at the moment. So our graduate program offers a training and placement with one of our clients. So the whole program is 2 years long. And we do have a business pathway and a technical pathway offering different roles opportunities. So starting on the graduate program, you initially will be trained from our academies in Leeds, London or Glasgow. The training is 6 to 14 weeks. You cover different modules, different topics based on the role you decide to go for within the path. We have different topics prepared, different sort of material, but we have a 1 week dedicated to professional skills, so you can get that confidence before moving on the client side, which is actually the next step on the process. So after you complete the training, then the next step on the program is being deployed with one of our clients, and that will be for minimum of 2 years, and you become a fully integrated member of their team. And after the 2 years, you're still going to have options. Most of our consultants stay with us and continue working on more exciting projects, taking senior positions, which is really exciting. Another option could be to move on the client side, which happens very often, and becoming part of the client that you worked so far. And the third option is if you decide to pursue something else, that's absolutely fine, but obviously you have the 2 years experience plus the training delivered from the start. So this is what we are doing in a very short summary. So now just to kind of introduce you to the technical pathway and the roles that we have within that pathway. So we have technical operation, which is very broad and varied role, involves ensuring that critical business systems are maintained so that the business can proceed to run as effectively as possible. This is a really good pathway for people who are interested in cybersecurity, application support, first and second line support. Then we move on to the next role, which is the business intelligence. So the focus on business intelligence is bringing sense of data. So this involves in transforming high volume of information to enable business decisions. So again, this is really suitable for people who are interested in data. Then we have a cloud computing, which is really exciting and popular at the moment. So this involves working with computer cloud system. You'll be analyzing data, but this time to determine which cloud solution would work best for a certain business and also to meet clients' needs. We also have, of course, software development, very popular. This stream is people who are interested in, coding and programming. So the software developers are creating products for end users, such as web apps, software programs, and they work really close with the business analyst to ensure that products are right to use. We also have the software test opportunity. So while the software developer will create the application, we need to make sure that it's going to working well. So the software tester will ensure improved quality, writing test scenarios, and make sure that the product work well. And last but not least, we have the robotic process automation. So this is a very new role as well. It's really interesting. It's all about making sure, helping organization transfer, process which we used to run manually become automatically. So it's really interesting one. It's using configuring robots to perform actions that would normally be executed by humans. So minimize risk of mistakes and also saves a lot of time and costs for the organizations. And now I just want to quickly mention the clients that we work with. So we do have clients across the UK, and they are from different sectors. So we have most of the banks we work with: HSBC, Barclays, Lloyds, Deutsche Bank, but we also work with Sky, Channel 4, Home Office, Aviva, BT, Shell, and many, many others. So again, amazing opportunities for you guys to get placement with one of those names and get that working experience, the commercial experience for minimum of 2 years. And thanks for listening. What I'm going to be doing now, I'm just going to leave a short form. So anyone who's interested in applying can fill out this form. It's very short. It just asks for an email address and some contact details as well. So if you're interested to apply in the future for FTM, feel free to fill out this today, and we'll be in touch with you.
Thank you, Christiana, from FDM. That was brilliant. So we'll be moving on to our next speaker now, and that's Helen from GSK.
Hi, sorry. I was just going to try and share a screen here. I don't know if you can see that. Are you guys seeing that screen?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great, Helen.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this session. I'm really happy to join you this morning. So just a little introduction to me. My name's Helen and I work at GSK Castle in County Durham, and I'm the early talent lead there. I've been working for GSK for 6 years. I'm not a science or technical person. I actually come from a creative background and come in via my experience of working with early talent careers. So I haven't really got a slideshow as per se to show you. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we do and what opportunities we've got for you guys that you might be interested in. So as it says on the screen, we're a science-led global healthcare company, and there are three arms of our business. One is pharmaceuticals, one is vaccines, and one is our consumer healthcare products. So they're the sorts of things that you would find in your supermarket or pharmacy. And we're currently sort of restructuring the business, and we're separating into two exciting new companies where consumer healthcare will stand alone as its own business. So a lot of changes at the minute in the company, which means that we can really focus on what our priorities are. So we've got people who are developing, manufacturing and bringing innovative products to as many people as possible, and we're really investing in talent to be able to help us do that, and that's why I'm talking to you today. Really investing in our early talent programs, so what does that mean for you? What sorts of things have we got? So if you're looking for an industrial placement, we've got a really great program that'll give you 12 months experience within the business. The roles are so varied that you would probably be able to find anything that would suit you. There are real opportunities to grow and develop. You'll be given real projects and responsibilities to work on. And we take about 350 placement students across the UK. You can apply to 5 different roles across the UK. What I would say is I would just get online and investigate what those roles are. Now, if you're looking now for summertime in 2022, you really need to go and look straight away, because we open for our placement opportunities right at the beginning of September. So some of those roles have already closed out, but there are some still available. So if you are looking for next summer, then get on the website really quick and discover. So if you go to gsk.com/careers and you put industrial placement into the search, those opportunities will come up. We've got a new round that comes up at the beginning of November, and these may be sort of less technical specific roles, so maybe a little bit broader in the business, or may sort of lead to specific arms of our business, such as ViiV, which is our HIV arm of the business. So really have a good look at those opportunities. If you're not at that stage yet, but you're thinking about in a year after that, so 2023, then make sure you start looking at these opportunities right at the beginning of September. We've got summer opportunities across the business, so coming in and getting a paid work experience across 10 to 12 weeks in the summertime. They recruit slightly different from site to site, so some you can apply via our central recruiting team, and so I work at the Barnacastle site in County Durham, and we kind of recruit ours slightly differently. So we'll just be putting our opportunities out on uni boards, on LinkedIn groups, and sharing our opportunities that way. So try and keep connected with, LinkedIn, Indeed, and putting alerts on your gsk.com. Again, the summer placements will be, specific projects that you'll be expected to deliver while you're with us, whilst also getting some really good experience in the business. In terms of if you're graduating and you're looking for graduate opportunities, we've got our flagship Future Leader programme, which is a brilliant programme for graduates who are looking for that real breadth of experience across the business. We also have other opportunities, so direct graduate opportunities, which vary again from site to site, and job roles that you can connect to, and that's maybe if you just know what you want to do, if you don't particularly want to rotate to different sites, then you might just want to be having your job alert specific to that vocation or that vocational area. So really set those job alerts up. What I would encourage you to do is really just get on our website and discover what early talent opportunities there are. And you can do that by going into the gsk.com careers section, and there are specific pages to do with placements, graduate opportunities, post-grad opportunities. So I would say do lots of research around that and set up some job alerts. Who are we looking for? So we're really looking for the motivation from you guys. Do you really want to work for GSK? Why do you want to work for us? We want the motivation of what job role you're applying for. Are you quite ambitious? Do you like to work in teams? Are you really wanting to have that development and be able to really take ownership of your own development as well? So I would really encourage you to really look at the business of GSK. What are our values and expectations? Because that's really key to us as well, is how you align to our values and expectations. So that's about it from me. Just to say that we have lots of opportunities that 15 minutes probably don't allow me to share with you, but I'm happy to take any questions at the end. So thanks very much for listening.
Thank you, Helen, from GSK. That was brilliant. And we'll be moving on to our final speaker today, Roxana from Stemcell Technologies.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Do you see my screen? Not sure. I'm still in connection or not.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
okay,
we can.
thank you. So again, good morning, everyone. My name is Roxana Micic. I'm a senior scientist at Stemcell Technologies. I'm actually in the R&D, research and development part of the business. So I'm going to talk with you from the effective working perspective of the company. So briefly, a few words about me. I was born and raised, and I performed my studies in my country, that is Romania, in Eastern Europe. You may know about Romania by the Count Dracula, the famous vampire, and the Dracula castle. Actually, the castle is not called Dracula, it's actually Bran Castle, and it indeed is located in the mountain regions. My city of birth and was Bucharest, an equivalent of London, let's say, where I have done my PhD, my bachelor degree, my master degree, and my PhD. So after my PhD, I was lucky enough, and I start moving across Europe. I made 2 postdocs, one in Brussels and second in Cambridge, UK. So I was fortunate to work with wonderful people in academic field, and I learned a lot of things. And I strongly encourage all of you to step out of your comfort zone and try all the time new things. And because usually you are becoming more creative, and you get better results and opportunities by just trying new things. And you have the opportunity to travel in Europe if you are in countries like France or Belgium that are basically in the center of Europe. So I really enjoyed my years in Brussels. So long story short, after my second PhD in Cambridge University, I decided to join the industry side of the biotech business, and I joined Stemcell Technologies. And you can see here in the nice slide, I'm working with these little guys in vitro cultures, and sometimes they can walk around in the system. They are kind of funny, and a new technique they call the organoid technologies, developed I think a bit more than 10 years ago. So about our company. So Stemcell Technologies was founded in 1993 by Alan Deves. He's a doctor, like MD, PhD as a formation. So the main headquarters is located in Vancouver in Canada. So it's a Canadian company. It's owned by Alan, and I think I haven't met a greater guy than Alan in my life. It's so innovation and scientifically driven, and a good part of the company revenue it's reinvested in research and development every year. So across these years, starting from only few people, he managed to have like a very upward development, and currently we are more than 1,500 employees. The main activity is providing culture media, not only focused on stem cells and stem cell technologies. We have a location. We are located in Cambridge, and I am working in Cambridge, UK. We have distribution points in Europe. We have another one in Asia. We are expanding in Australia, and there are plenty of opportunities to work in our companies, not only in research but also in distributions, in marketing, in sales, and all over. I think this is a main advantage of working in a company and in industry, because you can be flexible between different departments. So this is just in summary our portfolio. We are covering a broad spectrum of the market dedicated mainly to stem cell research. I'm currently working in the branch of culture media, and I worked in product development, and it's very rewarding to see translation of your lab research to a final product that people are actually buying and using it in a day-to-day in their day-to-day work. But in case that I want to switch and I don't want to work to culture media anymore, I can switch easily in the company to cell isolation, or I can try to work with primary and culture cells, or any other departments in a company. I can join, for instance, I can join sales teams, I can work with marketing, or even in manufacturing. That it's in Canada, but why not? I can move to Canada in case that I fancy. So in a company, in a biotech company, it's easier to move to a different department than to switch and to change your activity if you want. So our main area of interest, as I said, it's cell-based. We are very strong in pluripotent stem cell research. I talked about organoid research. I'm working on it, but also we are working in other fields like neuroscience, mesenchymal hybridoma, intestinal research, immunology. We are expanding. We are working with companies and academic. We are industry partners in many EU-funded projects. We are working in collaboration with other industrial partners. And in terms of recruiting, we are always looking for enthusiastic and dedicated people to join us. Even currently, we have some opening, entry-level open in our company here in Cambridge, UK. If you want to, if you feel that you can bring your values to our company, we always hire people motivated and enthusiastic in working with us. So not only recruiting in program of recruiting, but all year long, irrespective of economical situation, we value talents. in biology or chemistry or even bioengineering lately. So if you are interested to join us or having any questions, please feel free to contact me. I think I have in the first slide, I have my email address, and this is our company website. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Roxana. That was great. So we'll be moving on to the questions section of our session today. So if you have any questions, we can pop them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and we will unmute you. Uh, so we've got one question in the chat. If we are in our final year now, are we able to apply for graduate roles?
From my perspective, yes. We are currently recruiting people that are graduating bachelor degree, master degree. We have right now an opening position here in Cambridge, UK.
Yeah, from GSK perspective, yeah, we're recruiting right now for our graduate programs. So if you're in your final year, yes, you need to be looking now and applying. So our future leader program opportunities are currently live. So please go and check them out.
At FDM Group, also to mention, we recruit all year round, but for people who are in their final year, you can you can complete the form that I posted on the chat at the start. And as soon as we start recruiting, I think that'll be very soon, we'll open the applications for graduates 2022. You'll be informed as well, and we'll be able to take you on the process. But we do recruit all year round, and we have constantly start dates for the different roles opportunities. So if you're interested, just complete that form.
Great. This one's specifically for Stemcell Technologies for Roxana, but it might apply to FDM and GSK as well. So are there many recruitment opportunities in non-lab-based roles like science communications, etc.?
Yes, we are recruiting. We have here in Cambridge, we have sales department, marketing department, IT, research and development. Our science communication, it's mainly in Vancouver. We have in France that it's not so far away, just across the channel. We have distribution. We have a big distribution center in France, in Grenoble. So if you fancy try a different country, yeah, I understand that it's not so bad working in France. So yeah. And also, I forgot to mention, I was writing down in chat, we are also open for internship. So if you are still undergraduate and you need, or master student, and you want to make an external, to have like an industrial experience, I know that across the Europe there are several universities that are encouraging their students to get an industrial experience. We are open for this kind of programs. Can be as short as 6 weeks up to 9 months, I think, depending on the university and the country.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yes, I see a question regarding travel opportunity. Yes, yes, we have very good travel opportunities, not under pandemic, sure, because we had to we had to cut down unfortunately we cut down our traveling quite a lot, including sales teams. Sales team, they were traveling quite a lot for customers all around. But yeah, traveling opportunities are quite significant in our company. The people that are travel most are actually the sales teams. But R&D that I'm speaking of, we are traveling for conferences. We had occasionally I was traveling in Europe to meet particular customers. They have particular questions in my area of expertise, and I was doing that. Seminars, conferences, yeah.
That's great. Thank you. I'll just find another question. So for all three, are there internships for fresh graduates for all GSK, FDM, or stem cells?
I'm sorry, say again. I was trying to read.
So I think Roxana's already answered about internships, but basically, are there any internships throughout FDM, stem cell technology, and GSK?
At FTM Group, we do have some internships opportunities. They are mostly internal. At the moment, we already have our placement students, but you need to keep an eye on our website to check for the next year coming up opportunities. But usually these internships are for people who are in their between second and third year, and they join us for 1 year. At the moment, we don't have any openings, but keep an eye on our social media accounts and our website. I think there was one other sub question there about any sort of experience that you might need to apply. For us, we are welcoming everyone to apply because we don't require any previous experience in technology. Obviously, it's good if you have a STEM degree. Obviously, if you have already some technical skills, but this is not, something that necessarily need to have, because we do have that training at the start, which is dedicated to help you build those essential skills that you need for a consultant role in technology. So everyone is welcome to apply. We're looking for other soft skills that you can get not just from university, but also outside of university. So feel free to apply if you're interested going into technology, even if you don't have the experience yet.
Yeah, I just want to mention that regarding internship or temporary work in our company, we are extremely flexible and open for all the opportunities, not only for undergraduate, for master projects, and even for PhD projects. We had even a PhD student working temporarily with us because she was involved in a European project that required to have like a training in different location for like about between 1 and 3 months. So and we are open all the year long. I think currently we're gonna have a bioengineer, a student undergrad from bioengineer from Cambridge University with us for about 1 or 2 months, I think. So yeah, all hands on deck, open for everybody.
From our perspective, in terms of opportunities for graduates, our placement students tend to take up those opportunities, but that's not to say that there aren't other opportunities that do come up for graduates. So I would just say keep connected to all our sort of socials and our website. In terms of opportunities that aren't particularly just science-based, we've got loads of opportunities right across the business, and no, we don't expect you to have that experience because that's what we're going to give you while you're with us. Graduates can apply for some of our summer placement opportunities, so that's a good experience to get some working experience and practical experience in the business. So look out for those as well.
That's great, thank you. And we had a question from Omar. Do international students have any different requirements when applying for graduate roles? Or maybe you could talk through the kind of recruitment process of that.
So international students, should look in the Home Office website, in the government website, to see what kind of requirements are for foreigners coming to work in the UK. We don't have, Stemcell Technologies does not have any additional requirements except the ones that are that lied in a government policy regarding mobilities. If we are talking about Europe, you may look in the Erasmus project. It's a mobility project for undergrads. For the rest of the world, I really don't know. Everybody you should look for the visa requirements and so on. I think in general it requires that you be to be able to self-support yourself while temporary work in UK.
Yeah, from our perspective, the opportunities sometimes vary from opportunity to opportunity. So in a general rule of thumb is that you have the right to work in the country that you're applying to. We don't sponsor visas, but sometimes there's a circumstance where that may be required. So I would say just check each particular job description for that.
So for FDM, we welcome everyone to apply. We have actually more than 85 nationalities working in FDM. So we're very inclusive, but obviously you need to make sure that you have the right to work in the UK to apply for the program. But yeah, we don't have any special requirements. All it matters is obviously the strengths, the skills that you have. Obviously you need to make sure that you have the right to work, but else we accept applications from everyone.
That's great. So another question, can someone apply for a job/internship in either company after they graduate without any previous placement experience? FDM, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so as I said, we welcome everyone to apply, no matter whether you're graduates, like recent graduate, you graduated a few years ago, or you're a master student graduating. You're free to apply for our graduate program. We don't require any previous experience, any even technical experience, because as I said, that's why we do have this training dedicated part of the graduate program, which will help you to get those skills that you need to use after that. And obviously after you finish the training, then you go get your placement with the client to put this training into practice and get that commercial experience for a minimum of 2 years straight away. But yeah, we don't require having any previous experience. So if you're interested in technology or a business opportunity as well, feel free to submit an application for FDM Group.
From GSK perspective, no experience required. We recruit on a strengths-based format, so we're looking at what your potential is for the future. We're not expecting you to have lots of experience. We're just looking for your motivation to join the business, your enthusiasm, and potential for the business in the future. So please, yes, do apply.
Yes, same here. We are not looking for people with previous work experience. Actually, we are very much keen to have bachelor's and master degrees with their experience, with the experience that they have acquired during their study years. Because in the Stemcell Technologies, it's very likely that you will learn new things. So previous experience if you have any, might not be in the field that we are working currently. And we actually value more teamwork, creativity, and the willing to follow and to the strengths to follow and to pursue the projects that you are working on.
That's great, thank you. So I guess a question for everyone, Roxana, you touched on it a bit. Can master's students apply for the graduate programs? Christiana, do you want to go first?
Yes, absolutely. Master students, they're also graduates, so they can apply for FTM Group. For people who already graduated, they're more than welcome to submit an application straight away. People who are about to graduate, if you're graduating January, February, you can apply now. If you're graduating in summertime next year, we haven't opened yet the applications, but as I said, I'm just going to put again that short form that we do have. So anyone who's interested in submitting an application, and interested in FTM Group, you can fill out this short form and we'll be in touch with you. But yeah, we do welcome people finishing their master's degree in graduates, like undergraduates as well. So feel free to join us.
Yeah, we encourage master students to apply for our graduate programs too. So please, yeah, go and discover what opportunities are relevant to you and apply. On our future leaders pages, there's a little quiz you can do. It sort of looks at your strengths, what your degree is, and it'll direct you to which opportunity we feel suits you best in the business. So please go and check that out as well.
That's great. So we had a question, which is who do I need to get in touch with for internships or jobs next year? So do you have any from each company, like do you have like a jobs board, or do you is there a mailing list you could sign up to that maybe help with staying in touch with all of these?
I would just encourage people to just we have at Bannercastle, we have a LinkedIn group which is called GSK Bannercastle Early Talent, and I tend to post any jobs that I think appropriate for our early talent community. So it could be a direct entry position that might be suitable for a graduate. It could be, when our opportunities are opening, such as summer placements or our direct grad program. So keep connected to those sorts of LinkedIn groups. We generally post opportunities on uni boards as well, and you can set up your own job alerts via gsk.com.
For FTM, obviously you can connect with me on LinkedIn. More than happy to have a chat if you have any questions. We can schedule that, a call, or even email. But also I would encourage as well people to keep an eye on our website. We also run some webinars sessions very often. So for example, tomorrow we run a session for a video interview. So anyone who's interested to join us, feel free to do that. You can find the coming up sessions on our website. They're free. You can just join and obviously hear more about FTM and learn some new skills. Feel free to just find me on LinkedIn and connect.
Our current open position for Cambridge UK, I think it's advertised in several job websites like Indeed, and Indeed also in the Stemcell Technologies job at .stemcell.com jobs. And if you are interested, you can contact me. I write down my email address. And also for internship, we don't have a contact person for internship here. Usually the internships are run, we are collaborating with the university. So if you are interested to have an internship with us, contact your university department or your supervisor. And we are several scientists in here, and I think you can find it on our website, or you can send me an email, and I will direct either work with you in that or direct to a more suitable person to work on this one.
That's great. You can also tailor on My Career what kind of jobs you are interested in looking in. So you can click by kind of category, and you can get like emailing lists sent out, which FTM, Stemcell Technologies, and GSK will all be on as well. Does anybody have any last questions? Feel free to raise your hand or pop them in the chat. I've got one. So, what would you say your top tips for applying are if we go through each one? So, Christiana, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so as I said, we're not requiring any previous experience. So we are looking for the strengths and the skills that you have. And we're looking for the 7 strengths. So that could be, opportunity seeker, adaptability, resilience. So all of us has those skills and strengths. It's all about how we speak about them, how we use them in examples. So to try and be yourself and talk about your strengths and skills. It could be from your experience at university on working on projects. It could be outside of university. Some of you might be in part of societies or to any internships or any voluntary work experience or any other activities that you had during your degrees. Feel free to share them. I'll actually encourage our candidates to use examples when they are going through the interview stages as well. But yeah, that's what we're looking for, mostly the soft skills, the strengths that people have rather than any particular previous experience. So this would be my main advice. If you're interested, not sure what to do, but you're interested in technology, or if you have an idea where you want to go into technology, feel free to reach out to us. We do provide support through each stage of the recruitment process. Your recruiter will be, giving you guidance, feedback as well through each stage, and we're more than happy to have a chat with you if you're interested to get to know a bit more about it.
That's great. Roxana, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so that is a bit difficult. A difficult question. So I think we don't have any restrictions. So, but we do love to work with people that are motivated and enthusiastic. I think motivation and enthusiasm, I think are the main trait that I will look for when I'm hiring somebody, and also teamwork. In a company, in a biotech company, it's very important to be able to work in the team, because the rewards will be collective. You will have your personal satisfaction when you see something that you work on would be, I don't know, available for others to use. But the reward, it's a collective work. It's a teamwork. So, but I think enthusiasm and motivation are the most important one. Don't waste your time doing in something that you don't like, and don't waste our time in working with somebody that is not enthusiastic and motivated. Several of our people so they graduated, they have a bachelor degree, they come work with us for several years, and after that they switch to a PhD career. They want to pursue a PhD career to advance in their in their profession. So it's fine for us. I mean, if you are enthusiastic and motivated, come and join us.
That's great. Thank you. And Helen?
Yes, so very similar to what's already been said, is just around what is your motivation to join the company, and that might not be GSK, it might be any company. That's really important to know what that motivation is, and for people who are recruiting to see what your passions and enthusiasms are, the reasons why you want that job role and why you think it's suitable for you. I would say the biggest thing coming into some of our recruiting processes are students having some really good examples in that sort of assessment centre or interview type situation. And I would use the STAR format. If you haven't come across the STAR format, then look that up, because it really helps bring your examples to life. So I would say, yes, you don't have to have work experience. You know, it could be hobby, sports, volunteering, projects you've worked on. But make sure it is something that you know well, you are passionate about, might be just something you're really proud of, and just use those examples rather than trying to find examples that you think assessors or interviewers might want to hear. You know, use something that really resonates with you and you know about well, and that'll just make you really authentic in those situations. So that would be my tip for those types of situations.
That's great. Thank you so much. So thank you for all of your questions and your attendance today. So we're going to come towards the end of the session, so we'll stop the recording now.